All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. And of course, you know what that means. It's time for the U.S. election. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do like politics and stuff like that. Just get out there, vote. Hopefully, that means tomorrow we're all done with political ads. We can have normal football again this week. That isn't every commercial break. It's like 400 political ads. That was crazy this week. But hey, it was a pretty good week. We just finished with 9, so we're on to 10 like usual. We had a really good week last week. We went 11-4. Could have been 12-3 if we would have just hung tight with our Panthers pick. But unfortunately, I did switch over to the Saints once I seen that Carr was back. Made a mistake. Shouldn't have did that. I'm going to just trust my gut going forward because I could have went 12-3, but 11-4 is really good. That brings us to like 83 and 55 overall, but we'll see that in a second. But before we get started, as always, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Both those things help the video out, helps the channel keep growing. We're getting closer and closer to 9,500. We may even hit it this season, who knows? But also, the more important thing, make sure you drop a like or drop your comments down below with your picks, how you did last week, how you're doing on the season, what your overall pick'em record is, what you think of the video, whatever you want down in the comments. I get back to those as soon as I can. I usually respond to every single comment at least a couple times, so feel free to leave your thoughts. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. Pretty busy during the week, but I usually get to them eventually. So thank you so much. Let's get back into the video. As we said, we went, we've had a good run here. We went from week 6, we've been on a roll. Look at that. Look at that run. From week 6, we went 12-2, then week 7, 10-5, then 11-5, then 11-4. And now we're up to 83 and 55, which is like 28 games over 500. Pretty solid run. All right, we have 4 teams off this week. I think it is the It's the Browns, Packers, Raiders, and Seahawks. So if you're a fan of one of these teams, you know, you get an off week. You get to watch maybe your team, if you're a Packers fan, you want to see the Lions and Vikings lose. If you're a Browns fan, you don't really care. You just don't have to watch football. Same with the Raiders. Seahawks, you hope your whole division loses somehow. Anyway, let's go into Thursday Night Football. This should be a pretty good game. We have the 8:15 p.m. We have the Bengals taking on the Ravens. Ravens are 6.5-point favorites with an over-under of 52.5. They're expecting quite a big game, a lot of points to be scored. Both teams coming off wins where they both scored 41 points. Ravens only gave up 10. The Bengals gave up 24. And that's kind of like the indicator about how this game's probably going to go for me. I'd imagine it's going to be very close offensively. They're going to stay neck and neck throughout the game because both teams kind of struggle with defense. The Ravens seem to be very bad at stopping the pass. The Bengals seem to be very bad at stopping the run and kind of the pass. They're just not a good defense. And the Ravens are, I believe, one of the worst teams with the pass defense. So again, you'll probably see the Bengals score points. You'll see the Ravens score points. Ultimately, though, you kind of have to go with like, all right, well, I trust both offenses to really be active and score in this game. Who do I trust on their defense to make a stop? Who plays better defense this year? And it's the Ravens. They have a slightly better defense than the Bengals. And I'm going to have to go with the Ravens because of it. Plus, it's in Baltimore. Maybe if this was in Cincinnati, you would go with the Bengals. But home game, Thursday night, short week, better defense, very similar offenses. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Ravens. I think that's the way to look at it. Plus, I think the Ravens have way better coaching. We have a Germany game. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. The Giants take on the Panthers. Giants have a 4.5-point favorite with an over, or 4.5-point favorites with an over/under of 41.5. This game was weirdly hard to pick, and I shouldn't have. I spent like 4 minutes trying to figure this game out. Just genuinely couldn't pick it. They're both 2-7. Giants are coming off a 27-22 loss to the Commanders. Panthers beat the Saints 23-22. I should be picking the Panthers. I really know I should. And I'm going to regret not picking them. But I don't know. The Giants have a better football team. They just can't operate it. Jones should be a decent QB, but he just doesn't do it consistently. They played pretty good against the Commanders, which is a way better team than the Saints. You know, they put the Commanders on this weird tightrope at the end of the game. So I'm going to take that as the Giants are starting to play a little bit better. They also have a pretty solid defense, so I could see them kind of shutting down the Panthers. Give me the Giants in a who cares game. I shouldn't have spent that much time on it. The New England Patriots take on the Chicago Bears. Bears are 6.5-point favorites with an over/under of 38.5. Yeah, I don't know why I picked the Patriots in this one either. I guess this is my upset pick of the week. Yeah, we'll go with that. I'm going to go with the Patriots on an upset. I think they figured something out at the end of that Titans game. Patriots lost to the Titans. Bears lost 29-9 to the Cardinals. Bears are 4-4. Patriots are 2-7. Again, Bears are favored by nearly a touchdown, so this would be constituted as an upset pick. I don't know. The Bears struggled with a running quarterback like Kyler. Maybe they'll struggle with Drake May's ability to run, and that's basically all I got. My upset pick, I don't really have very good reason for it. I have the Bills taking on the Colts. Bills are favored by 4.5 with an over-under of 47.5. Both teams, well, no, the Colts fucking lost. This cost me a win. I thought they beat the Vikings. I'm going to be honest. I thought they won that game, and I was like, oh, damn, they lost. So I thought I was 12-3, but I was wrong. But the Buffalo won 30-27 over the Dolphins. Bills are 4.5 point favorites. I already said that. Yeah, Bills are 7-2. Colts are 4-5. I don't know. The Colts are super inconsistent. They don't really play a good game constantly. One week they can throw and run. The next week they can't. One week they can play offense. The next week they can't. Their defense is hit and miss, even though it's a little more consistent. I think with the way the Bills are playing right now, they're probably just going to run right through Indianapolis. I don't really see Indy's defense stopping the Bills' offense, which has been white hot the last pretty much all year. And the Bills' defense has improved. I know they didn't look that great against Miami, but Miami does have a very good offense, so that's not too surprising to see the Bills kind of get bum rushed by the Dolphins. Plus, the Dolphins then play weird games, so yeah. I'm going to go with the Bills over the Colts. Way better team. Minnesota Vikings take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Vikings are 4.5 point favorites with an over-under of 46.5. I know I have the Vikings losing, but at the time, I had genuinely believed that they had beaten the Colts or lost to the Colts. I also don't really think the Vikings are as good as their record indicates. That was a pretty weird game. That was a pretty ugly game that the Vikings went ahead and won last night, or the others was it Sunday night. I don't know. I didn't really see anything that was impressive. I think the Vikings, if they were playing a slightly better team than Indy, they probably would have lost that game. I don't know. I like the way the Jaguars came back at the end of that game. I think the Jaguars are a lot better than their record indicates, and the Vikings aren't as good as their record indicates. You have two of like this weird extremes going on. I like the Jaguars at home. I think the Jaguars can take advantage of the Vikings and win this game. I think. Unless the Jaguars trade all their players, I'm going to put an asterisk on this, because if the Jaguars like sell off at the deadline, then they're obviously going to lose this game. And they haven't really traded anybody yet. So we'll see, but like there's rumors around a bunch of their players. This is if the Jaguars hold strong, I think they win this game, but if they sell off, Vikings will win. I'm going to put an asterisk on that one. Denver Broncos take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are 9.5 point favorites with an over-under of 41.5. Broncos just lost 41-10 to the Ravens. They're 5-4 though, having a pretty good little year with Bo Nix. Kansas City Chiefs are 8-0, obviously, with a overtime win versus the Buccaneers. At some point, they're going to have to lose, but unfortunately, it's not this week. If this was in Denver, maybe Denver could have made it a little bit closer, maybe won the game. But again, rookie quarterback, Denver's hit and miss sometimes. I think defensively, despite them getting blown out, I think they'll be able to kind of maintain a Chiefs team that hasn't been super great on offense all year. They're improving a little bit with Hopkins being in there and all that, so that's probably helpful. But I don't know. Denver's probably going to lose this game. Kansas City's losses are going to be to teams like Buffalo or somebody like that is probably going to be the team that beats them here in the regular season. I don't know about the playoffs, but regular season, sure. Won't be Denver though. Would be funny. Falcons versus Saints. I got the Falcons winning. I'm not going to go into this game. I'm not picking the Saints anymore after that loss to the Panthers. That was stupid of New Orleans. Plus, I don't think anyone wants to play with Derek Carr. They just fired all their coaches. It's a shit show down there. I'm going to pick the Falcons. You got a bunch of Saints players talking shit on Derek Carr. It's ugly. That's an ugly locker room right now. Their best bet is to just tank it. Get rid of the players and just have a bad year or two and get the salary cap right so you could build an actual team. The 49ers take on the Buccaneers. 49ers are favored by 6.5 with an over-under of 48.5. 49ers coming off a bye. As we just discussed, the Buccaneers lost to the Chiefs. I think the 49ers coming off a bye are going to have quite the defensive game plan for the Buccaneers. They're going to have something up their sleeve, a way to stop them, slow them down, especially with like The Bucs did play well with some of the injuries they have going on. They went up really good against the Chiefs, but I think the 49ers still have a slightly better defense than the Chiefs, or at least the pieces of a better defense. They'll be well rested. And I think the 49ers will be able to score on the Buccaneers. I don't know. Should be pretty close game though, because it's like in Tampa, and Tampa isn't as bad as people probably thought they were going to be. So 6.5 seems kind of a touchdown lead. I don't know about that, but I do see the 49ers winning, especially off a bye. They should be pretty ready to go. What do we got? Oh, Pittsburgh taking on Washington. So Steelers versus Commanders. Commanders are favored by 2.5 with an over-under of 46.5. Steelers coming off a bye. They're 6-2. Commanders beat the Giants 27-22. Almost blew the game. But they're 7-2. So that's looking pretty good. I'm going to be going with the Steelers in this game. Basically, I don't know if Jaden Daniels and this rather young upstart Washington Commanders team has ever played a defense that is the caliber of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are used to guys who can run and play quarterback. That's something that's in their division. That's in the AFC quite a bit. Again, this Steelers defense plays what the Commanders hope Jaden Daniels turns into in Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? And they don't really struggle with playing Lamar running quarterbacks. So again, that kind of gimmick isn't really going to get the Steelers all messed up. Not really gimmick. That's rude to say. But that ability doesn't really mess the Steelers up. They can deal with running quarterbacks. It's not a thing. They can practice with Justin Fields. So again, I can kind of see the Steelers being able to shut down the Commanders' offense. The first big challenge for Jaden Daniels, a team that can play running quarterbacks, that has a great defense, that's going to be coming for a win, that is an underdog, coming off a bye. That's a tough situation for this team to get. We'll see how they respond. I'm going to be going with the Steelers because, again, I see them play. I see how they play running QBs, and I don't know if a rookie runner is ready for what the hell the Steelers have defensively this year. So give me the Steelers in what should be a pretty fun game, but unfortunate. Tennessee Titans take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Titans got a lucky win over the Patriots, 20-17, and the Chargers beat the Browns, 27-10. Chargers are 7.5 point favorites with an over/under of 37.5. I'm going with the Chargers. By the way, these are the 4 o'clock games. There's only 3 of them. Titans kind of got lucky that the Patriots just don't play good offense, that they're super inconsistent. They have no offensive line. You know what I mean? Like, the Patriots have a bunch of things going on, so they're kind of an easy team to beat. Whereas, like, the Chargers seem to be figuring it out. Their defense is coming to life. They're starting to get their offense clicking together very, very nicely, very consistently. I think Harbaugh's plan is starting to take root, and everybody's starting to buy in. Yeah, so give me the Chargers in this one. They should be able to handle their shit. They're a better team than the Patriots. So give me the Chargers. New York Jets take on the Arizona Cardinals. Jets are favored by 1.5 for some reason. I guess because they just beat the Texans with an over/under of 45.5. Jets beat the Texans 21-13. They're 3-6. The Cardinals are 5-4 with a 29-9 win versus the Bears. I don't know. I'm going to take the Cardinals. I like what they're doing on offense right now. They seem to be pretty slick. They're a tough team to deal with. And I think a Jets team that's been struggling with their secondary might struggle with Kyler Murray right now. I don't know. I feel like I watched the Jets struggle with running quarterbacks like Drake May. They didn't have the greatest answer for that. They got kind of lucky that Drake May had to leave that game. And I'm just thinking that Kyler can run around, he can throw it. The Cardinals are playing good offense. Their defense is starting to heat up a little bit. I don't know. I feel like the Cardinals could steal this game. They're at home. I like the fact that they're home. Jets got to go all the way to the West Coast, so they have this weird time lag going on. I don't know. I'm going to go with the Cardinals just because I feel like they're going to win this game. I could be wrong, but I feel like they're going to. Oh, yeah, and we're going to be going with the Eagles in this one. The Eagles play the Cowboys in Dallas. Eagles are 7-point favorites with an over/under of 42.5. Eagles coming off a win. Cowboys coming off another loss. Cowboys also lost Dak Prescott. He's going on the IR for 4 games. They have a bunch of injuries now on offense, too. So it's like Cooper Rush and the backup squad versus an Eagles team that's playing good football. The Cowboys haven't played good football at home all year, so pretty easy game to just go ahead and pick the Eagles and kind of write the Cowboys off this year, at least for the next 4 games, unless Cooper Rush comes out and balls out, but I kind of doubt it. Eagles are playing pretty good defense. They're playing solid offense. Give me the Eagles. Sunday Night Football, what a banger we get. Detroit Lions take on the Houston Texans down in Houston. The Lions are favored by 3 with an over-under of 48.5. Lions coming off a 24-14 win over the Packers. Score wasn't as close as it indicated. The Lions kind of gave up a late touchdown to let the Packers kill the clock a little bit. And the Texans lost 21-13 to the Jets. But there is a little bit of an addendum. Finally, a trade happened before I recorded my picks. The Lions did add Zadarius Smith, so that kind of amps up their defense, makes it a little bit stronger. Now because they got a shitload of pressures on the Packers but couldn't finish the sacks. Now they have Zadarius Smith to back up Aleem McNeil's pressures he was getting. So that should open up the Lions pass rush here against a Texans bad offensive line. I haven't really seen the Texans make any big changes. So now you're getting a Lions defensive line that's revamped, a team that likes to blitz, a team that likes to provide a lot of pressure. So you're going to see a lot of rush throws from CJ Stroud, a lot of like hurried decisions, a lot of rolling out of the pocket, kind of like what the Jets made him do, which kind of leads to bad throws, bad decisions. And the Lions kind of have the secondary this year with guys like Kirby Joseph, Amik Robertson, Brian Branch will be back to kind of take advantage of like bad throws, rush throws, bad decisions. And again, you'll probably see them do that in this game. I could see the Lions defense being like the X factor in this game, especially with the addition of Zadarius Smith. Also, Houston gave up 21 to a Jets offense that hasn't really been that great this year. So I could see the Lions kind of looking at what worked, utilizing that themselves and kind of building an offensive game plan that is a run that uses a lot of run and then uses a lot of pass to kind of throw them off, keep them off balanced. So again, I'm looking at this kind of going, I feel like Detroit has the upper hand. Houston's been playing kind of meh football the last few weeks for whatever reason. Also, Houston has a discipline problem, and that could cost them. The Lions are very good at making teams make mistakes, like penalty-wise. So I like the Lions in this game. I think the Lions are playing white-hot football. I think they're a very tough team to beat with Zadarius Smith now. Yeah, I like the Lions. Monday Night Football, we got the Dolphins taking on the Rams in kind of a who gives a shit game. The Rams are 2.5-point favorites with an over-under of 50.5. I got the Rams winning 24-21. I think they just have a slightly better offense than whatever the hell the Dolphins have now. It should be 26-20. I think I wrote the wrong score for the Rams. My fault. Dolphins lost. That was their best effort of the season, and they lost. Finally, when their offense looked good, their defense completely collapsed. So it is what it is. I'm going with the Rams. I think the Rams are starting to improve, especially now that they're healthy again. So I'll take the Rams. And that's about that. We got another one down the drain, in the tubes, in the dump, finito, final. Hell yeah, that was pretty good. That was a pretty solid pick'em, I think. I think we're looking at our first ever 14-0 around here. So yeah, only 14 games this week, so it was a little quicker. I'm going to try to get out of here before we hit over 19 minutes. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you're still listening, subscribe, drop a comment with your picks, with your record, all that fun stuff down below. I like to read them. I like to comment back with people, so don't be shy. But yeah, if that's it, I think that's it. I think that's the end of the video. So as always, another one down the drain, in the dumps, in the tubes. Have a good rest of your day, night, morning, mid-afternoon, mid-evening, that time between 7 and 8 p.m. where it's not quite nighttime, but still kind of not afternoonish, late evening. I don't know. Have a good one whenever you listen. Thanks a lot for listening. As always, it's go Lions, go Tigers, and of course it's go Patriots, best team in the league still. That'd be the Lions though, right? Either way, have a good one, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your time, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Goodbye. Golf for MVP.